Hello everyone, welcome to this in detailed video about plagiarism, referencing, and in-text citation. I've tried to cover as many related topics in this particular video. I've also included a tutorial which should really help you out. Anyone who is conducting any sort of research ranging from OA levels to PhD should really find this video helpful. So let's get into it. In its essence, plagiarism basically means when you are using someone else's work and not giving them due credit. That work can be in the form of ideas or statements or research or analysis, anything that they have done which you have not done on your own, but you are presenting it as your own work is basically plagiarism. And in academic circles, in professional circles, it is considered a very serious ethical violation. If you look into different forms of plagiarism, basically there are like five main forms. First one is when you are directly copying someone else's work word to word, and not giving citation. That then comes something which is very common when you are paraphrasing someone else's work. For example, you pick someone else's analysis about a particular thing, and or someone else's statistics or someone else's research, but what you do is that you do not give them credit. So again, that also comes under the guise of plagiarism. Then if the citations are improper, it is a form of plagiarism, not that serious, but still it is plagiarism. Because if you say something, if you claim something, in secondary research, if you claim something, what happens is that your work needs to be double checked. So in order to double check that, that citation will be checked, and if that citation is misleading, then it's of no use. So that's why that is also considered improper. You cannot copy your own previous work. Yes, again, this might be slightly confusing for many people. Why? It's our work, why shouldn't we be able to copy it? Basically, if you have submitted or published your work, then you cannot resubmit it without mentioning a proper cause or reason. Then comes mosaic plagiarism. This is becoming more and more common nowadays when people use some sort of software. We also had a case related to this a few years ago. That what students do is that they pick an entire report or an entire paragraph, and they put that paragraph into Grammarly and or Spinbot. And what those softwares do is that they use synonyms in many places. It does look like a newly produced work. However, it that work will not pass any software checks. Whenever a software is going to check it, it is going to flag that work as well. So that's also plagiarism. As we already discussed, that if you're not acknowledging your sources properly, if you're not giving credit to the people from whom you have borrowed your work, your secondary research, then it is considered plagiarism. So now comes the next question: how do you actually do that? How do you acknowledge those people? That is done through referencing. Basically, it is giving credit to the original author, original researcher, original producer of the work that you have used in producing your assignment or coursework or report, whatever. There are different standards of referencing, ranging from Harvard, APA, Chicago, MLA, and this is a question that has often been asked by students, that which standard is correct, and the answer is all of them are correct. you can use any reference standard in producing your work as long as you stay constant, meaning that throughout your report you should follow just one standard. It shouldn't be that half of your report is following the Harvard standard and the other half is following the MLA standard. That shouldn't be the case. There is one exceptional scenario where in universities a professor might say that he requires this particular type of referencing. In that case, obviously, you are bound by your professor. But when it comes to organizations, when it comes to uh, institutions, they usually do not bound their students to any one type of referencing. So, what is bibliography? Bibliography is basically it's just a detailed list at the end of your work. It can be called bibliography. It can be called a list of references. It includes all the references that have been used in your report, in your work, in your assignment, in your coursework. Typically, it does include these five main things. However, it's not limited to that. Depending upon the type of referencing or depending upon the type of reference, whether that is a video or a journal article or uh, an online article or a book, the details can vary. The next thing is the in-text citation. Now, while a bibliography tells you or gives you the list of all the references that have been used in a work, in-text citation basically points out that which particular reference is uh, used in which particular part of the report or assignment. It is also it depends upon the standard of referencing that you are using. Based on that, it can just be a number or it can be something detailed as author's name, year, things like that. Tutorial should really help clear things out a bit more. Uh, this is a report. It has been written using these six resources. Usually, uh, we have bigger reports with bigger resources, but as we are just doing a tutorial, so this should be enough. Now, many students who ask or who send queries, they are usually stuck in this particular position that okay, what to do next. So that's why I'm going to start from here. Let's say this is the first link that we have. Okay, so this reference has been used in, let's say, this particular paragraph. Okay, so we are going to this is a Word document. We are going to go to preferences and insert citation, add new source. Okay, now from here we select what type of source do we have. It's basically a website. And do we have the author's name? We have it's Hannah Ritchie. We just copy the author's name, add it here. Do we name of the web page? Forest area. So that's the name of the web page. Go back here. Website is ourworldindata.org. Okay. So again, we have the website. Do we have the year? So if an article has been published and then revised, so you write the revision date, which is May 2024. So we have the year, that is 2024, month is May, day is not written. So we just have then give them the URL, which is this link. Your link is the URL, and then you just paste and add. So a reference in text citation, in text citation is added. Now moving on to the like next link. This is yeah. So somewhere here, yeah, Amazon and rainforests deforestation. Okay, so let's see if we can use it here. Seth Milstein is the name of the author. Let's just copy it before we add news source. It's again the website, name of the author is given, name of the web page. Change. The website is sentientmedia.org. Let's see if we can find the year. The year is May 8th, 2024, and then we will be needing the URL. So it's 2024, month is May, day is 8th, and we have the URL. So another reference has been added. Moving on to just repeat this exercise. Okay, in this particular case, there is no author's name. We don't have an author's name, right? Let's confirm that. Yes, if we don't have an author's name, it's fine. I'll just let you know what to do here. It's basically here. Add new source. Author is not given, so just click on corporate author. Basically, corporate author means the company that has published this company is Environment America, so we just write the name of the author, that is Environment America. The name of the web page is illegal logging is a major driver of global deforestation. Add it here. Name of the website is environmentamerica.org. Year is again 2024, month is August, day is let me just confirm, 29th, and then we would be needing the URL as well. Day is 29th. Then okay, another reference is added. Moving on to the next one, Royal Society. This one was used at the end of this particular paragraph. Again, there is no name of the author, so we just have the corporate author, and then in this particular reference we don't even have the date. So I'm going to tell you what to do in this particular scenario. This scenario, first thing that you have to make sure is that the resource you are using is reliable. Now, the Royal Society is, in fact, one of the reliable resources in UK. It publishes a lot of journalists. It publishes a lot of research. So we can use it. It's not a problem. No. So let's just add a new source. We don't have the author. We just have the corporate author, the Royal Society. Name of the web page. Name of the website is yeah. So we don't have a date in this article. We don't have any date at all. When such thing happens, what you do is that you write the date of access. For example, 2025, month is February, days let's say 20th, and then you just paste the URL. Okay, so this one is added. Now comes the next reference. Let's see again. Add a new source. Corporate author will be F. Name of web page. The effects of deforestation. Website is wwf.org.uk. Again, year is 2025, month is February 20th, and then we just paste the URL. Okay, now coming to the final reference, which is this. Uh, we do have the author here. It's it's let's see if we have the year. Yeah, okay, September 19, 2023. This is called 2023, uh, September 19th, and then we just add the URL. Okay, so when you're done with this, what you have to do is basically, we can get rid of this. Just go here and just click on bibliography, and your bibliography will automatically appear. You see, you don't have to work on it as well. So the next thing that the students need to consider is similarity index. Basically, similarity index means that how much of your report, your document, your coursework, it matches or resembles other sources that are out there. Why this index is important? Because now, let's say if someone thinks that as long as they are referencing, they can copy as much of others work as possible. So no, that's not true. Basically, you, along with plagiarism, you also have to keep another thing in mind, and that is the similarity index. So different uh, professors, different universities, they might give you a certain level of acceptable similarity index range. However, usually the most common ranges, most common range that is also there on the Turnitin and Qtext, all these websites, is this, that as long as it's below 20%, it's acceptable. If it's 20 to 30, then it started starts to depend upon the type of assignments or type of stuff that is overlapping. 30 plus, it now you are in the danger zone, and you are very highly likely to get either disqualified, or your report is not going to get accepted at all. So now we are living in an era of artificial intelligence, and one of the most commonly used AI software is the Chat GPT. Now there are other also popping up, like DeepSeek, Nova, etc., etc. However, there is also an escalation in plagiarism detecting softwares. The the companies like Turnitin or Qtext, they have basically upped their games. Now, whenever you create a document from Chat GPT or any other artificial intelligence software, it leaves certain markers, and along with that, the software itself also keeps a record of it. That's why it is very easily detectable when a proper paid software is used, and this is the reason why I basically discourage the use of these softwares. You can use them to actually get an idea. Like, for example, it's the same way you can use Wikipedia to actually get an overview of the topic. However, do not include text or quotes or analysis direct from ChatGPT or from any other source, and include it directly in your report, because that is basically that is basically how you get your report flagged for malpractice, and once that is done, then you are probably going to get disqualified. So when you are perceiving plagiarism, when you are actually checking whether your work can be flagged for plagiarism or not, then there are certain things that you need to keep in your mind. First thing is that are all works referenced and cited? Then is that referencing proper? Now, what does that mean? Basically, it means that if, for example, you are referencing something on pollution statistics, let's say, and if the examiner clicks on it, it takes you to some other link which has nothing to do with pollution, then that's improper referencing. Keep the similarity index low, keep it below 20%. Do not use AI generated material directly in your IR. That's not acceptable at all. And again, do not use any softwares like Grammarly or Spinboard to actually uh, temper with your work. They use synonyms to actually transform your work. Don't do that. If you do that, they are going to flag it for malpractice as well. Review of resources. Now, this is basically a very recent thing now, and it is becoming increasingly common in academic practices. Basically, what's done is that at the end of your work, the author of the work is asked to actually review the types of resources, their authenticity, their validity, and write a paragraph about it. Uh, it is basically done to actually check the level of awareness that the writer has about his own research, and uh, it is sort of a reflective practice that, okay, what kind of type of and how valid or authentic the resources he has used throughout his work. Now let's have a look at the sample of review of resources. Now this sample is marked at 7 marks out of 10. Why, I would tell you when we go to the next sample. uh, Basically, the author has uh, explained what type of resources they have used, which sources they have particularly used to prepare the report. They have also explained that most of their resources are very recent, from 2021 to 2024, and then they have also reiterated that their resources are reliable and authentic. Uh, Now, usually the length of review of resources should be somewhere between 150 to 300 words. However, it also depends upon what's the original length of the document. If the original report is somewhere around 2000 words, then this word limit is okay for it. Now, this particular sample is marked at 9 marks out of 10. Why? Basically, the reason being is that while it covers all the areas that the previous sample covered, in this particular sample, the author also explains the shortcomings of his research. If you look at the third last line of the first paragraph, he says that I did use a couple of articles that were not very recent, as the updated relative data was not available. But I still made sure that they were from the most well trusted sources. Now, uh, as this shows that he has better capability to reflect on his research, this really is marked higher as compared to the previous sample. Now I have some advice for the teachers, for the mentors, for the research guides that are out there working closely with the students. That first of all, always be available for your students whenever they need help. Be available to them, because many students are struggling with this, but they might be shy to come forward. Then incorporate good practices in them, so they can this can all be a learning experience for them, which should help them in their life in future academics and professional work as well. Also, don't completely shun them away from the modern softwares as well. Tell them how to use them in the most acceptable ways, how to get the most out of, even when it comes to AI, how to get the most out of those softwares. And the ultimate target of all mentors should be that their students should ultimately become independent and be able to conduct their own authentic research, their own. They can write reports, do projects, write thesis without any help. And if you are able to achieve that, I think that's the real success that we should all be aiming for here.